lot of Korean language movies available today all around the world in the internet and for purchase in local places. I wanted to take a little bit of time and tell you a story about one particular experience I had with a Korean language movie and some background from my perspective. I am a student of some Korean. I speak some Korean. I've had the benefit of having part of my family associated with Korean culture, and so I have I say pretty good exposure to South Korea and how things are working. But still, when I watch a movie in the Korean language, I put on subtitles in English so I can follow. And some of the phrases and things I can hear in Korean because we speak it at home and for some home type things. But most of it I'm still referring to the subtitles. So in the context of all that, now you'll get a chance to understand where my story is going to go. So not that long ago, I had a trip to go out to South Korea. So I was riding a Korean airline, Daehanangong, which is the Korean Air, and on the trip out there, they have movie selections that you can watch. It's a long trip. It's a 14-hour ride, give or take. And then once I get into South Korea, there's some other steps I have to take to get to my final destination. But during that trip there were movies, and I was searching through. Maybe I could listen and listen to some recordings in Korean and try to sharpen my language a little bit, my understanding of the language. Or I can watch some movies, and I prefer to try to watch movies that aren't necessarily just the most popular English type of movies. I want to find something a little bit different and maybe even Korean. So I bumped into one movie out of the others that I've kind of browsed and watched a little bit. There was one particular movie that I ran into on the back seat of whoever the person was in front of me. You know, on the airplane, if you're riding in an airplane and you want to watch the movie, you have your screen is on the back chair of somebody else's seat, and that's how it was in Korean Air. So I picked this movie and I started watching it. It was a drama movie, and it was the main character was an older lady that I had seen before in the Korean TV drama, TV series that I had watched quite a long time ago, and it was a familiar face. So I started watching it. The context of the movie was initially it was related to this lady who was trying to learn how to speak English. And as you know, the movie went on, slowly her personality was coming out in a big way in the movie. The person that she was working with, who was a younger guy, he was trying to help her to learn English, and the two of them started building a bond together. And as the context of the movie played out, and then later, and I'm not going to reveal the whole setting to you on this recording, but as the movie played out and it started becoming very revealing, what's happening here? Oh, this is why she needs to speak English. And wow, come on, I started kind of getting on her side, like, I want you to be able to speak, and because of how things are playing out and what you intend on doing, you really need it. And I just wanted to say the emotions inside of me while I was on a plane in economy class, flying to South Korea and watching this movie. I went from like an innocent, just let me see a new movie, to like all fully into this movie, to the point where there was a lot of good pieces, like ups in the movie, and there were some downs where I felt sad. And I had to. It was one. It was at least two or three times during the movie I had to stop the movie because I felt tears coming down my eyes, and I was like, "Man, what is it? I'm ready to start crying on this plane." And if you get a chance, it doesn't matter who you are. People can cry, but uh, I don't want to be sitting on a plane and start wailing because of a movie. So I was welling up, and I felt as soon as I pressed play again, oh, I can't get away from this feeling. I had to take a break from the movie. So I would say the feeling emotionally that I had in that movie, I found and because kind of represented when I've watched other Korean language movies, not all of them, but some of them, where they're very uh, deep in context and things kind of are being accumulating as the movie goes along, and it's very engaging. It kind of engaged me and gave me some really it made me feel like I was wow in a different place, and that movie was representative of that. I've listed it here too, but the um, the name of the movie in English, and it may be the same one that they do in Korean, is I Can Speak. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you get a chance to look at it. You may see it and think it was simple, maybe not too deep emotionally for you, but for me, watching the movie play out and seeing the reasons why it was done, it made me sad. It really did. It had me. Like I said, I had to stop the movie a few times, but by the end, I'm so glad I watched it. It gave me good context, and I really appreciate the way the movie was put together and the depth of it and how it was done. And for a number of Korean movies, but I'm not going to cover all of them here. They could be drama, thrillers are good, some actions. I found that the script writing behind it is very inquisitive, depending on what was being written, and it has its own flavor to engage and captivate the viewer. And I'm not someone that is easy to captivate. I will fall asleep during movies. So a lot of the Korean ones I've stayed awake. All right. So if you get the chance, take your time and maybe even check out I Can Speak or some other Korean variety movies and enjoy it.